everybody. Thank you all for coming today. As you know, the Secretary...
About 80,000 square kilometers that used to be controlled by ISIS are no longer controlled by ISIS. But more importantly are the people that used to live in these areas. So now about 6 million people, about 4 million Iraqis, 2.2 million Syrians who used to be living under ISIS are no longer living under ISIS. And for those of you who travel to Iraq and Syria and meet these people, that statistic is the most important one.
If the Kurds go ahead with
all the territory that has been retaken by ISIS to date has held. This is not a situation in which we're working with military forces on the ground. They go in and clear territory, and then ISIS or terrorists come back. All the ground has held, and we want to make sure, obviously, that we keep it that way.
This referendum, I know you guys don't want to see it, but
we did make adjustments in January in the new administration, and President Trump ordered an acceleration of the campaign. A lot of authorities were delegated downwards so that we could move faster, move more effectively, and I think that's made a difference on the ground. We have not, however, and Secretary Mattis obviously speaks to this, we have not changed our rules of engagement and the precision with which we apply military power.
What happens if they do?
Not too long ago, ISIS was not only planning, but they planned and then carried out, sent teams from Raqqa to carry out massive attacks, terrorist attacks in Istanbul, in Paris, in Brussels. All of that was going on in Raqqa. We also knew in Raqqa they were planning major significant terrorist attacks, the type of September 11th type events that they aspire to. All of that was going on in Raqqa. They were taking advantage of the infrastructure of a major city to do that, and that is why we had to focus on getting ISIS out of Raqqa.
Whether military or financial aid to the Peshmerga or...
If you look at what the Kurds have accomplished by this referendum process in terms of reunifying their parliament for the first time in 22 months. It had been basically dormant. In terms of helping to pull the Iraqi Kurds together, they've already achieved a great amount, and they have the international community prepared to fully support and endorse a very intense process of negotiations, and that's something now that is being discussed. So again, I want on that issue, the referendum, to get to your question, just carries an awful lot of risks, and that's not something that, that's not something the United States can control. Other actors here will make their own decisions, including neighbors, Turkey, for example. And so that is why we remain in very close consultations with all of our friends in the Kurdistan region, and they're very close friends of ours and partners, and also with the Iraqi government. And I remain hopeful that there's a very good package on the table in which an alternative might actually be the better path for all sides. But again, we will see. And in terms of the consequences of the referendum, it's not something that we can fully control. It just carries a lot of risks, as we've mentioned.
So this has been an embargo is lifted, and then